Good morning. Today, February 1st, marks the beginning of Black History Month, and on this occasion, I wanted to share some background on its origin. The following excerpt is from an article that author Mackenzie Jean-Philippe published a few weeks ago on January 7th titled, "The Reason Black History Month is in February." See, it all started with a man named Carter G. Woodson. Harvard-educated historian Carter G. Woodson is credited with creating Black History Month. Woodson got the idea in 1915 after attending a celebration in Illinois for the 50th anniversary of the 13th Amendment, which, under Abraham Lincoln's presidency, abolished slavery. The festivities honoring the proclamation lasted for 3 weeks, with various exhibits depicting African American culture. In 1915, after seeing this display, Woodson decided to form what is now named the Association for the Study of Afro-American Life and History, or as it's known, ASALH, in order to encourage the study of the accomplishments by Black Americans. Black History celebrations expanded to a week-long event. After Woodson wrote the Journal of Negro History in 1916, which chronicled the overlooked achievements of African Americans, he sought to amplify Black people's success and spread his findings to a far wider audience. Through community outreach, he encouraged his fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, to promote his work. In 1924, the fraternity responded by creating Negro Achievement Week. Now, many of us might not know that February was selected to align with President Lincoln and Frederick Douglass's birthdays. 2 years later, despite Omega Psi Phi's efforts, Woodson still wanted to make a bigger impact. So in 1926, he and ASALH officially declared the second week of February to be Negro History Week. This was celebrated for years and was chosen because of the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln on February 12th and Frederick Douglass on February 14th. Both Lincoln and Douglass had long been celebrated by the Black community in the years before Negro History Week was created. Since his assassination, Lincoln's birthday was honored by both African Americans and Republicans alike, so ASALH only solidified this tradition. And Douglass was already revered as a change-making abolitionist and orator, whose legacy would now be cemented with festivities that honored the people he fought so hard for. President Gerald Ford declared Black History Month official. In the 50 years that followed, clubs, schools, and communities across the country began taking part in the week-long celebration. Slowly, more and more cities declared official recognition of Negro History Week. Particularly in the 1960s during the Civil Rights Movement, with wider public knowledge of the trials and triumphs of African Americans, a mere 7 days turned into a month-long recognition. Consequently, ASALH expanded the recognition to Black History Month. To solidify this change, in 1976, President Ford declared February Black History Month in a commemorative speech. He urged citizens to, quote, seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history, end quote. Today, Black History Month continues to be widely celebrated. The observations live on as we take the time to honor greats such as Dr. Martin Luther King, author James Baldwin, poet Maya Angelou, just to name a few. In the year following Ford's speech, Congress passed a law in 1986 that deemed February National Black Afro-American History Month. Both Presidents Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton issued their own proclamations recognizing it as a national observance, and every president of the United States has issued one annually since 1996. But as time goes on, just like Woodson's idea of highlighting people of color, went from a single organization to an entire month of recognition. Many feel that, again, we need to think bigger when it comes to appreciating Black lives. Oprah Winfrey has said, "I have a wonderful phrase that Maya Angelou wrote in one of her poems. I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. Here in the Smyrna School District, we are excited to begin February by recognizing Black History Month. Not only this month, but at all times, we are reminded how our great country has been shaped by the accomplishments of Black Americans. Reporter Melissa Guillaume tells us about a few of these fearless individuals. Sadie Tanner Moselle Alexander, a writer who lived from 1898 to 1989. She was the first Black woman to receive a PhD in economics in the United States, the first Black woman student to graduate with a law degree from the University of Pennsylvania Law School, and the first African American woman to practice law in Pennsylvania. Ruby Bridges, civil rights activist, born in 1954 and still living. At age 6, Bridges embarked on a historic walk to school as the first African American student to integrate her elementary school in Louisiana. She ate lunch alone and sometimes played with her teacher at recess, but she never missed one day of school that year. Muddy Waters singer who lived from 1913 to 1983. American blues singer and songwriter and musician, often called the father of modern Chicago blues, Waters grew up on a plantation in Mississippi, and by the age of 17 was playing the guitar and the harmonica. Langston Hughes, poet who lived from 1902 to 1967. Hughes was an American poet, social activist, novelist, playwright, and columnist. Born in Missouri, he moved to New York at an early age, becoming one of the earliest inventors of a new art form, jazz poetry, just to name a few. Here in our community, there are those who serve as role models for all of us, students and adults alike, pastors, community and civic leaders, educators, physicians, businessmen and women, fathers, mothers, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and all of those who are stewards of our children as they develop into the next generation of leaders. In their recognition, we will be offering many opportunities to celebrate Black history throughout this month. We are posting each event on our calendar, located on our district website, our virtual field trip page, and each school page. We will also offer weekly spotlights on local Black members of our community who will discuss their personal stories. Beginning with Smyrna High School junior Elise Sampson this Wednesday, February 3rd. Members of Smyrna High School's Black Student Union will also present weekly readings of books authored by Black Americans, including these 4: Henry's Freedom Box, The Sweet Smell of Roses, Through My Eyes, and All Because You Matter. Finally, there will be activities designed to share information about influential Black Americans, both male and female, past and present, in our country. We invite everyone to please join us this month. In the words of the late United States Representative John Lewis, who served in Georgia from 1987 until his passing in 2020, what I try to tell young people is that if you come together with a mission and it's grounded with love and a sense of community, you can make the impossible possible.